Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today it is the start of September, which means in a couple of days it's going to be AFL Finals time, a time loved by so many people around the nation. So with that being said, we're going to get straight into my predictions as to how the 2020 AFL Finals Series is going to pan out, with a few big calls coming in at the end, so you're going to want to stick around for this one. Let's get straight into it, eh? So here's my AFL Finals bracket. And as you can see, I've got the Saints winning the premiership in season 2020. Nah, I'm just kidding. I mean, I wish that happened, and I'll be rooting for that. But if I'm going to want everyone to watch this video to not hate me, I'm going to have to do a realistic finals prediction. So let's get straight into that. But I mean, if St Kilda, by all means, nothing's stopping you from winning the flag. So in all seriousness, let's get actually stuck into my 2020 AFL Finals predictions. And let's kick things off Thursday night at the Adelaide Oval. We have Port Adelaide versus Geelong, and this game is going to be an absolute cracker. Both teams first versus fourth. Geelong pretty stiff to be finishing fourth, but I see it being a very, very tight game. But Geelong all week have been talking about their starts to games and how they haven't been good enough. So I reckon Geelong will come out absolute guns blazing. They've had a week against Sydney. They didn't look too good against Sydney, but they had a week to get the chemistry right with their new look side, with Gaz, Ablett and Selwood back in the side. They've got that week to get things sorted, and they're going to come to Adelaide absolutely guns blazing, and they're going to come out on top against Port in a close affair. Next game, we've got arguably the biggest of the first week of finals. We have the Lions taking on the Tigers at the Gabba. I'll tell you what, all in the media, everyone's talking about how Richmond don't lose at the Gabba, but I reckon the Lions, they've had enough time to think about their finals performance last year and their performance this year and their goal kicking woes and all those issues. I reckon the Lions are going to come out and they are going to want to make a statement and prove themselves to be genuine contenders for the flag. So I reckon the Lions are going to break their 16-year hoodoo against the Tigers at the Gabba on Friday night, putting the Lions into their first prelim in God knows how long. And Tigers will start October with a loss. Ooh, next game we've got an absolute blockbuster game for me. The Saints' first appearance in finals since 2011. And geez, what a matchup they have against the Bulldogs. It should be an absolute ripping game, and both teams are coming off great wins on the last round of the season. I reckon the Saints are going to come out on top just in a high-scoring, fast-paced affair. So I see the Saints coming out against the Bulldogs and that would make our household very happy. Also seeing the Saints get out on top. So good luck, you Saints. And we'll move right along to West Coast versus Collingwood, played in Perth on Saturday night. And Collingwood, geez, this was the position no team going into the finals wanted to be in. And Collingwood have found themselves quarantining in Perth, getting ready to play the Eagles after a well-rested Eagles team, matter of fact. West Coast, they're pretty stiff to be finishing fifth, and playing in Perth, there's not much more to say. They're going to absolutely roll Collingwood, and I would love to see them roll Collingwood because I hate them. So that's the first week of finals done. Let's get on to the second week in my predictions. The first semi-final will be the Port Adelaide Power versus the West Coast Eagles, and obviously this will be at the Adelaide Oval, so you'd think the Port Adelaide have such a big advantage against the Eagles. The Eagles have been playing very average football recently, and I reckon that Port Adelaide, they'll have a tough loss against Geelong, and they'll come out firing against the Eagles and give them a bit of get a bit of a revenge for that Luke Shuey goal after the siren all those years ago, and put themselves into a prelim and try and get themselves into the granny, the Port Adelaide. And then a massive game, the Dan Butler Cup in the second semi-final. We have Richmond versus St Kilda. And boy oh boy, would I love to see the Saints get up against the Tigers. But the Tigers, if they're going to lose against Brisbane in the first round, they're going to want to come out firing against the Saints. I reckon it'll be a high scoring, it'll be a quick and fast-paced affair. And I reckon it'll go down to the absolute wire. But I reckon the Tigers, as much as it pains me to say, I reckon the Tigers will get over the line against the Saints. And now down to the do or die weekend, the preliminary final weekend. Both games will be panning out in Queensland as I have predicted. I have the first preliminary final will be the game of the season, Geelong versus Richmond. It's going to be a blockbuster game, no doubt on a night game. It's just going to have the whole works, and it could go either way. Let's be honest. Richmond and Geelong have been two powerhouse clubs this season, but I reckon if my predictions go as I think, a well-rested Geelong side will get over the Tigers, because in my prediction I have the Saints really rattling the Tigers, and the Tigers will only just get over the line in the semi-finals, so they're going to be bruised and battered coming in to face a well-rested, dominant Geelong side. They've been working their way towards this premiership for quite some time now, and I reckon the matter of their want, they will want it more than the Tigers this season, and I reckon the Cats will get over the line against the Tigers. And then we have the second preliminary final, two interstate clubs. We have the Lions taking on the Port Adelaide Power, and geez, it's a funny old game. I reckon because it will be played at the Gabba. Port Adelaide have shown that they're not at their strongest at the Gabba. No, certainly no comparison to what they are at the Adelaide Oval, but I reckon the Lions at the Gabba, the chance to play a home grand final in front of your fans will just be enough to give the Lions a big enough sniff over the Port Adelaide Power, giving them the advantage to power through and giving them the win against Port Adelaide in the preliminary final. Now we're on to the big dance. We have got my predicted grand final, the Geelong Cats and the Brisbane Lions facing off in what is going to serve up to be an absolute brilliant affair between these exciting clubs. One hand, you've got the Cats. They have got experience galore. It is now or never for the Cats. And then you've got the Lions, the young, youthful, perfectly balanced Lions side led by a wonderful coach, Chris Fagan. I'm going out on a limb here, and I actually reckon that it's going to be a draw. For the first time since 2010, I reckon this grand final, at the end of regulation, both teams will be on the same score, putting it into overtime, which they should have done in 2010, by the way. Both teams are going to absolutely put their bodies on the line. It's going to be an absolute beautiful football affair. And I reckon, I'm going out on a massive limb here, my prediction is that Eric Hipwood, the Lions tall forward, is going to have a shot at goal after the siren to give Brisbane the win. However, he's going to miss the goal, giving Geelong the premiership. And my reasoning behind Geelong winning the premiership is just they've been building towards the premiership for so long. And I reckon their experience and their want is just going to put them over the line. Not to mention how good the Lions will be on their home deck in front of their home fans. But I just see Geelong getting over the line against the Brisbane Lions. So it will be a very interesting finals affair. And we'll have to see what the finals have to bring for us in this 2020 postseason. If that being said, we're going to get on to some finals big calls. I've rung up some of my mates, and let's just pass it over to the OWP punting agency. Hello everybody, welcome back to the OWP punting agency. Today I got an AFL Finals 2020 special. We've got so many odds to look forward to, so many juicy odds, so many multis, and so many of what you love. And we're going to get into it. We've phoned in some of the boys, and they have given their fair share of 2020 AFL Finals and 2021 AFL season big calls. Let's get straight into it, shall we? Roll the tape.
I'd like to wager Geelong will beat Richmond in the grand final with Paddy Dangerfield 25 plus disposals and 4 goals from Tom Hawkins.
Jordan Ridley will be in the All-Australian team in 2021.
The Brisbane Lions are going to go bang bang and out in this year's finals.
The Freo Dockers will play finals in 2021.
Smith medalist for the 2020 season will be Charlie Cameron with 4 snags at the Gabba.
Collingwood will beat West Coast in the first elimination final.
Alright, Dangerfield is going to win the Norm Smith and lead the Cats to the premiership, and Dogs are going to get absolutely smashed by the Saints in this elimination final.
Brownlow medal this year will be a tie, with Jack Steele and Lachie Neale having to share the honours.
Ed Langdon will win the Brownlow.
My big call of 2020 is Carlton.
Young gun Samuel Wiedemann will be an All-Australian in 2021.
Thanks for your help, boys. They are some absolute big calls if I've heard them myself. I'm going to bring you 2 big calls of my own, starting off with Jaron Geary to kick 4 goals in the elimination final against the Bulldogs, going at very, very high odds of $98.40. And my second big call for the evening will be for there to be torrential rain at the Gabba for grand final day this year, meaning there will be a combined score of less than 100 from both teams. It's going to be a low scoring affair, and for there to be torrential rain at the Gabba running at $117. And we're going to bring you some of those beautiful juicy odds brought to you by the boys. Cats v Premiers in Dangerfield to win the Norm Smith going at $12. Saints by 40 versus the Dogs from Jacob Street Glasson also going at $13.50. From Jesse Smith, the interchange Gordon panellist, we've got Jack Steele and Lockie Neal to tie the Brownlow going at $20. And then we've got Sam Wiedemann also from Jesse Smith. Sam Wiedemann to make the All-Australian team for 2021 going at $39.99. Charlie Cameron this is also from Jesse Dees. He's had a big day at the punting. We've got Charlie Cameron to win the Norm Smith medal at $17. Then we've got Pip Matthews. He's just said Carlton. We don't really know what to think of that, so we're going to put it at $1.87. And then we've got the Dockers to play finals in 2021 going at $21. That's from our good friend H, also from the Interchange Cordon podcast. We've got Collingwood to defeat the West Coast Eagles. That's going to be a big task for the Pies, but it's going to be hard. That is not out of the equation. That's going at $9. And we've got Jordan Ridley to make the All-Australian team in 2021 going at $19.85. Those 3 were bundled up by Harry Luxmore. We've got from Warney, we've got an absolute weird call. We've got Ed Langdon to win the Brownlow. That's going at $500. You don't see that too often, folks. And then with Brisbane to go out in straight sets in the 2020 AFL Finals in straight sets once again, just like they did last year, from Jakey Poyser going down at $11. And if you bag that all up, that's going to come to a conclusion. The good people at OWP Punting Agency have crunched the numbers and come up with an absolute juicy deal of $6,914 multi. Get on that, kids. Make sure to give it your all and don't hold back. Gamble responsibly.
Oh geez, well they were some big calls. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope these finals predictions weren't too controversial. Feel free to leave your finals predictions in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, I think we're going to leave it there. We've got an absolute massive show of the podcast. If you haven't seen them already, there'll be a playlist linked in the bio. But yeah, stick around. Big things coming to the channel in the near future, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Cheers. I'll see you in the next one.